Welcome back to Live on Sea. The Trinidad and Tobago Petroleum Conference takes place next Monday, runs through Wednesday. I have in my company this morning Dr. Thackray Driver, who is the CEO of the South Trinidad Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the STCIC. And I would also like to welcome John Moffat, who is a Smart ISO facilitator, who is here also for the Petroleum Conference. Well, welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here on Sea.
Well, thank you for having us.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, thank you.
You are here, Smart ISO. Tell me about that group, that body.
Smart ISO came out of a desire to help the small company get onto a level playing field with the larger entities, and understanding that if you've got a good management system, you can get ISO certification. But the converse isn't true. Having an ISO doesn't mean you've got good management. So Smart ISO was all about giving them both. And as just an example, I've just come from the States to a company dealing in renewable energy, looking at a power matrix to make that more viable for householders and things like that. And they're using Smart ISO to get the foundation right from a management perspective, not just for the company, but also for product certification.
I'm pretty sure you have been all across the region, the Caribbean. You've only been here for a couple hours. What islands have you been to? And in terms of the standards, Smart ISO, what have you seen that's been significant, maybe in other Caribbean islands? I'm hoping that you have been.
No, this is the first time in my life I've ever been to Trinidad.
Well,
I've been here for about 15 hours, but I work with someone in the region, so
that's
there's
right.
Quantum Systems 2000, Trinidad and Tobago Limited. I think they need to shorten the title. But I work with them as a reseller in this area, so they know the islands well, they know the need, and they're very excited about the potential, especially linking with the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, I think that is a vital part of it, so that whatever we might think, we can endorse what is going on, and we can learn from whatever's going on and meet the needs that are really here in these Caribbean islands. I would love to go see some.
Local companies, regional companies, how do they feel about being internationally certified? Do you get that feeling that they are willing and ready to be internationally certified so that they can compete with on an international scale?
I think the larger companies are driven by the fact that it's a de facto requirement that they have. A lot of the larger companies are pushing it down the pipeline, not as in oil and gas, but down their supply chain to require people. But there's still out there a fear of ISO in terms of that means lots of paperwork, lots of documents, lots of ticks in the box and visitors. My drive is to get rid of that fear. The software is there to actually look at gaps, fill gaps, and make that journey much easier for you. So there is a fear out there, but we've got the way of, sounds like a sales pitch, but we genuinely have actually helped get rid of that fear.
But I would think that you would want to be in that sphere. You'd want to make sure that, you know, all the ticks are there, everything is in place, and you'd want to be at that level. Why do you think there's a fear, though?
I think the fear is of the ISO. ISO has this sort of registration and certification, and those are negative words of policing and things like that. There's not the understanding that actually a well implemented ISO is a good management practice. So that's why I start off by saying Smart ISO is about management, then it's about ISO, because that's the important way around. Improve the management of your business.
That's important.
If I could jump in on that point about companies, there's a desire for companies to be ISO certified because they know that it will help them in terms of their management systems, but also in terms of some of these supply chain management issues that's being demanded of them in certain cases. It's particularly, I think, important for Trinidad and Tobago service companies when they're going out into the wider region and to the wider world. If they can say that they're ISO certified, it gives them a lot of credibility when they're going out there, because a lot of locally based companies will tell you, particularly energy sector service companies. So we have companies here who are servicing the energy sector, and they go out and do business in the States and in Canada. There's often a credibility issue that they face coming from Trinidad and Tobago, unfortunately. And I think that when you have international certification, it helps you in that regard. So I think that there is a push for our companies to get certified. Linking it back with the future of energy, what we see as the future of the energy sector in Trinidad as well is a seller of services around the world. We have a lot of Trinidadians at the moment who work everywhere in the world.
That's
There's
right.
not that many Trinidadian service companies who work out there. So we want to create a situation where we have local companies here who are operating globally in the energy sector. And then the international certification becomes an important component of that.
Yeah, great.
From where you sit, the STCIC, how many companies do you think in Trinidad and Tobago are ISO certified on a percentage basis?
Oh, it's very few.
Very few.
I don't know the exact figures. You know the figures? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want exact figures, but it's very few, as you say.
It's very few, yes.
And that's unfortunate. So you are here basically to open up, make sure that companies are aware that they can do this, and of course the management aspects are here as well.
I'm here having gone through a lot of pain, had a lot of T-shirts and movies, never been on television, to give them tools to enable them to go that journey without that pain. And that is seriously, I'm not sales pitching, that is seriously what it's all about. Learn from what we've done.
It's pretty good.
It's the truth, man.
It is the truth, and that's important. I guess that's why it's pretty good as well.
And companies certified to international
Most
standards.
important. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I wish you all the best. The Trinidad and Tobago Petroleum Conference 2008, all part of the South Trinidad Chamber of Industry and Commerce, that's STCIC. In my company this morning, it was a pleasure having you, John Moffat, Smart, or Moffat. I almost gave you a new name there. That will be your Trini name. John Moffat, Smart ISO facilitator, and Dr. Thackray, driver, CEO, STCIC. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks for being here on
Thank
Sea.
you very much.